The oldest and most extensive archive in the known world lies in the Diamond Quarter of Orzammar, in the halls of the Shaperate. The Shaperate is not merely a building, but an institution that stretches back thousands of years. Those who maintain it are called Shapers, who hold a place of high honor in dwarven society. While most Shapers come from noble caste families, exceptions are made for gifted members of other castes. The blessing of the Shaperate is given only to those who walk with the stone. It is a path that cuts deep, and the road is far from secure, but those who desire to work in memory must first honor it. Document the stone, protect her, and present a new history to the memories. Only then will the blessing of the Shaperate be upon you. A Shaper is a scholar, a historian of the dwarven people knowledgeable of rune crafting and generally possessing a strong stone sense, that which dwarves call their uncanny sense of orientation underground that makes them attentive to shifts in the stone. Their first duty is to maintain and record the history of the dwarves. While the Shaperate contains a substantial traditional archive of books, scrolls, and tablets, the most important records are recorded in the Wall of Memories. A Shaper will create a lyrium rune and record their own thoughts within it, thus storing the knowledge of the dwarves for all time. All dwarves of Orzammar may enter the Shaperate and search the records. Recording great events is not the only purpose of the Shaperate. Within Orzammar, the Shaperate's authority is divided among several branches. The Shaperate of Memories presides over the principal purpose of the Shaperate, maintaining the most critical records, the memories stored in lyrium runes. This branch is presided over by the Shaper of Memories, also called the Lord Shaper, who is the highest-ranking member of the Shaperate. When the nobles of the assembly choose a new ruler of the Dwarves of Orzammar, it is the ceremonial duty of the Lord Shaper to crown the chosen monarch, laying the weight of thousands of years of dwarven history onto the shoulders of the new king or queen. Of lesser esteem, but certainly still important, is the Shaperate of Stone, led by the Shaper of Stone. They meticulously maintain the mundane records of dwarven society, business contracts, births, marriages, and deaths. For a society that values family and genealogy so highly, the accuracy of these records is of great importance. More esoteric is the Shaperate of Runes, led by the Shaper of Runes, which focuses on the study and creation of runes used by the dwarves to imbue their crafts with magical power through lyrium. The Shaperate holds more knowledge of runes and their meaning than any other. The most common and practically useful are shared with the smith caste for their crafts, though even the Shapers know the meaning of only a scant few dozen runes. They are not, as many outsiders assume, merely the written form of the dwarven language. The runes rather belong to an ancient lost language that predates Orzammar and all the thousands of years of history recorded in the memories. Their meaning must be inferred more than translated more often than not, though even that knowledge is sacred and jealously guarded by the Shaperate. The Shapers are always looking to recover more ancient knowledge of runecraft. After Paragon Caradin invented golems, there was also a Shaperate of golems dedicated to managing his creations, their use and maintenance. But as the number of golems controlled by Orzammar has dwindled, the Shaperate of golems has become defunct. Beyond these specialties, the Shapers are responsible for regulating the physical and social structure of Orzammar. Any attempt to structurally alter a building or space within Orzammar, for example, must require the Shaperate's approval. So too to changes that may alter the functioning of Orzammar as a society. In the Dragon Age, a dwarven convert attempted to open a chantry in the city, but could not acquire any space in which to do so, or preach his faith without the permission of the Shaperate. In day-to-day life, the Shapers also serve as judges and magistrates within dwarven society. mediating disputes and providing judgments citing history and precedent. In the case of the most sensitive matters, such as treason or the elevation of a paragon, judgment will be left to the Assembly. Even then, the Shapers traditionally serve as advisors to the Assembly on matters of procedure and historical criterion. The Shaperate is seen as apolitical and unbiased, but this is sadly far from the truth. Shapers have been known to yield to pressure from noble caste families to doctor ancient records to portray them in a better light, or remove embarrassing incidents. Furthermore, the Shapers only record what they consider to be worthy. Entire noble families have been stricken from the memories as punishment for high crimes. The existence of casteless dwarves at the bottom of Orzammar society is scarcely acknowledged at all. Nonetheless, the Shapers hold that it is their duty to recover and reclaim the lost knowledge of the ancient dwarven empire. Orzammar was not the only great tie of the dwarves with the Shaperate. Who knows what lost records may have survived in the memories of Gundar or Hormak, or the ancient capital, Kal-Sharak. So the Shaperate holds it as a sacred duty to journey to the lost ties of the old empire, and recover as much knowledge as they can. This they do sometimes alone, alongside military expeditions, or even journeying into the depths with the Legion of the Dead. Before the Darkspawn, the stone held an empire, dozens of ties, each cavern a shade of dwarven pride, communities separate but united. They fell by degrees, ruins crumbled into tombstones, a forgotten glory. But the stone is a living history, and absence can reveal more than constant scrutiny does. As the stone shifts, she chooses what remains buried and what must see the light. The Shapers must return, must walk the lost way, so the children of the stone can see what has been surrendered and what can be gained. This is the sacrifice of the Shaper. I must admit to a little bit of dodgy information here, particularly as regards the Shaperate of Runes. There's really only one reference in the Hissing Wastes where Paragon Farrell is referred to as the greatest Shaper of Runes to ever live. That indicates the Shaperate of Runes is a distinct entity within the Shaperate. I decided to run with that. Otherwise, the world of Thedas says there are only 3 branches, the Shaperate of Memories, Stone, and Golems. Anyway, this is the first lore video in a few weeks. I've had a big crunch period at work, so it took me a little while to get myself back into script writing and editing. This was a requested video that I'm happy to provide, clearing up some points about the purpose of the Shaperate, which was admittedly not very directly explained in a full way in Dragon Age Origins. That's all I have to say for now. I hope you all have a great day. See you next time.